Hey guys, it's Hannah and welcome back to the Dyslexic Reader. Today I am doing the spring cleaning book tag. I was not tagged to do this, but I saw it over on Oil Crate's channel. I'm sure you know in some regards what Oil Crate is. It's a monthly, one of those monthly boxes that books come in, but they have their own channel, which I really enjoy. All the girls over there are great, so I recommend checking them out. I wasn't tagged. I just thought as spring is upon us, I'm not a big one for spring cleaning, but the tag sounded fun and I felt when I watched their videos some of the questions were unusual. No way, sometimes in tags it feels like the same question rehashed. I thought they were unique questions. The original was created by Book Syrup. I'll link it down below. And let's just get started in this cleaning vest. Question 1. The struggle of getting started. A book or a series that you struggle to begin because of its size. So I'm guessing this is a book that you're kind of intimidated by. And I have, the back of this book is bad, but The Shadow Hunters. I think this is book 1, City Bones. Am I right? Yes, it says 1 on the spine. I don't know much about this. I know that it's so hyped. I got it for Christmas a couple of years ago. And it's fantastic. It's from what I gain, okay, it's kind of like a slightly grown up Percy Jackson, and I loved Percy Jackson. So I've been meaning to get this for years, and I have the whole series because I got one of those box set things, and it's the length of it, you guys. It's 6 books, and normally that's not something that puts me off, but they're all big books as well. Well, I can't even see page number. Yeah, like over, this is the first one. I think it's the smallest and it's like 500 and something pages. So kind of intimidating. So if this is really good and you think that I would enjoy it, put some motivation in the comments because I need it. Question 2. Cleaning out the closet. A book and or a book series you want to unhaul. I actually have a pile. So when I finish a book, I think, no matter how much I liked it, do I want to reread it? And if the answer is yes, it will go back on my shelves. Or if I want to, I think a family member or something, I'll enjoy it, goes back on my shelf. If the answer is no, it goes into my like on-haul pile. And once I've got enough, I will take it to either 2 places. My local charity shop is one, and another one is where we have like a caravan on the coast. And on the caravan site, there's a little laundry room where you can, pay to use the washer and dryer. And just of last year, we've kind of started a kind of leave a book, take a book kind of thing. Because obviously people, when they're up there relaxing on holiday, they like to read. So sometimes I will take it there if I think it's mostly, do you know those easy summer reads, the thrillers and the mysteries people just say through. So I think if it fits that, I'll take them there. So at the minute I have 4. In them, 2 Kathy Rake's books, the top and the bottom one. They are part of the Temperance Brennan series. I bought these cheap because I absolutely, Bones, the TV show, is one of my favourite TV shows of all time, and these are the books that the TV show is based off. I did not like the books. I didn't like the writing style. The characters, well, the main character, basically her name and her job are the only thing that's the same. None of the other characters are in it. Her life is completely different. Her personality is completely different. And I didn't really like the writing style. So I got halfway through Fatal Voyage and I just decided the both of them are gotta go. I no longer have interest. The Romanov Prophecy by Steve Berry. I really enjoyed this. This was kind of a Russian, get it right, Hannah, based thriller mystery. I really, really, really enjoyed it, but I'm never going to read it again. And Tunnels by Gordon and Williams, and this was a kid's book that I picked up cheap. I absolutely loved it. I flew through it, and it's a cliffhanger ending, and it just really annoyed me. And it's like a 7-part series that I didn't know, and I'm not going to get them all, and I can't even get them at my library. So I'm done with the series, even though I enjoyed the first book. I'll never find out what happens, but at this point I'm kind of over it. So those are the books that I'm planning to unhaul soon. Question 3. Opening windows and letting some fresh air in. A book that was refreshing. And I had to think a lot about this. And what I came up with was The Dollmaker of Krakow. I recently just finished this book. I don't typically like war books, World War I, World War II, any kind of war. which this was, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I just thought the whole style, the kind of magic, but it wasn't the main part. The relationships in it were really good and different. Like, there was an elderly single man and a young girl were friends in it. It wasn't weird in any way, which was really just nice. All the relationships in it, and the way it was set, the way it portrayed war, not from like a frontline fighting, which was obviously terrible, and it was also obviously the Nazis invading and the concentration camps and all that kind of thing. But I just think the angle that it was portrayed from was really unique, and I really enjoyed it when I normally don't like war books. So if you're someone who normally doesn't, I would definitely recommend this one. It was pretty good. Washing Out the Sheet Stains, a book that you would rewrite a scene in if you could. And I find this hard, because I'm one of those people, like, if it's got a bad beginning, I'm not invested. If it's got a bad end, I just dislike the whole book. And I don't really think too much about this, but I was looking through my Goodreads and I saw Hello Darkness, which was a book that I read at the end-ish of last year, I want to say. The book was weird, and I'm not sure I would have liked it if the ending was different, but definitely the ending killed it. Like, it could have been a 3 if it was okay, and it could have been a 5 if it was a great ending. But the ending, it wasn't like she woke up and it was all a dream, but it was that kind of vein of an ending, and it was a 1 star. Like, it was so bad, it wrecked the whole entire thing, and it made it all pointless, and I hated it. So I think if you changed the ending, like, it could have been a 3-star book, it could have been okay, but no, it wasn't. It wasn't okay. Throwing Out Unnecessary Knick-knacks, a book in the series that was unnecessary, and I had a hard time with this one too. These are hard questions, you guys. For a lot of series, especially trilogies, the middle book is the most pointless, but I'm not sure you can always say that, like, it was unnecessary. Like, you can't just dive into the third one. So I was thinking about this, and I was looking through my Goodreads trying to get answers for this, because I always look through my Goodreads, because I do, I own a lot of books, but most of the books that I read are library books. Probably a good 80% of my books are library books that I read. So I can't look at really my shelves and gauge answers for things, so I look through my Goodreads. And a series that I really enjoyed is The Worst Witch. It is a middle grade series about a girl who goes to a witch school, and she is not very advanced in her magical skills, let's say, compared to the other girls. But the one that I rated the least on Goodreads was Worst Witch at Sea. I thought this book was pointless. I didn't really like the motivation of what was going on. There was a few dodgy scenes that, well, it wasn't written that long ago. It was written when I was a child. They would definitely not be allowed now. And it's one of those series that you don't have to read them in order for them to make sense. The first one kind of helps to read it first, but other than that, they're just adventures of the characters, so it doesn't really matter. So you could definitely bin The Worst Witch at Sea and read the rest of the series, and I think probably enjoy it a lot more. Polishing the Doorknobs, a book that had a clean finish, and I actually spoke about this recently when I done my February wrap-up. I read The Twining by Terence Blacker, and it was not a perfect ending. It wasn't everyone lives happily ever after kind of ending, but when I sat it down, I just took a deep breath and was like, oh, that is satisfying. It wasn't like a clean cut ending. It wasn't perfect, but I feel like it was super satisfying. I just felt like it just left it at the perfect place, at the perfect tone. It was kind of open-ended for you to guess what happens next, but not in the way that you're looking for like a sequel, and I thought it was just really well executed. Question 7. We're almost on the penultimate question. Reaching to Dust the Fan, a book that tried too hard to relay a certain message. And I might get some hate over this, but Catcher in the Rye by J.D. Salinger. I found this book had a message. I didn't really like the message. I didn't really like the main character, Holden Caulfield, and I felt like everything was sacrificed for the message. I feel like his character could have been better, and there could have been a bit more intrigue in the plot. They still could have got the message across kind of, not in a subliminal way, but in a subtle way, but it was kind of like, here's our message. and everything else suffered for it. And I think it was almost kind of insulting, like, if we do this subtly, you'll not even understand, so we have to shove this message in your face. That's how I felt while reading it. I didn't like the style. I felt like the plot and the characters suffered for the message, and I was not a fan. Can you guess? I didn't like it. It really intrigued me, but I didn't like it. And 8. Tiring yet satisfaction. Finishing of the spring cleaning, a book series that was tiring yet satisfying to get through, and for that I'm picking Harry Potter. I didn't read Harry Potter till I was in my 20s. Shocker. I missed the bandwagon with the first couple. I don't know what I was doing that I missed it, but I missed somehow the first couple when they came out, and then by the time it got to kind of Goblet of Fire, when they started to get bigger and more complex in plot and storytelling and writing and everything else, and because of my dyslexia and my age, I just was not able to read it. I just couldn't have read it, so I must have missed the first one or two. I don't know where I was. Well, I guess they weren't that really popular until the movies started coming out, maybe. I don't know. Northern Ireland's weird. We don't get things the same as even like England would. It kind of didn't happen here until later, and yeah, by the time the bigger ones came out, I was looking at them and I was like, I couldn't read that, so I never did. I did watch the first couple of movies like years after they came out, and I did not like the movies. Well, I've still only seen like the first 2 or 3, but I did not like them. For me, everything needs to make sense, and the movies didn't. There was things to me that obviously the movie can't explain everything. I don't expect it to. But I was left at the point, like, this is stupid, these rules don't make sense, they're hypocritical and contradictory, but in the book, it's all explained, it all makes sense, it's all very well done, and I really enjoyed it. It obviously was a slog to read all 7 books, one after the other. I used the audiobook for a bit of support, because even now I do find the bigger ones hard work for me. But I started on Easter. Yeah, the Easter holidays, I started, my friend lent me them, she was like, I'm forcing you to. So she lent me them one after the other. We started on the Easter holidays, and by my birthday on the 1st of July, I had finished them, all 7. So I think I done pretty well considering that I was in uni at the time and obviously had exams and studying and loads of other things going on. So yeah, it was really satisfying when I set the last book down and I was like, yes. And I was actually quite pleased that I didn't have that many spoilers. I knew like some of the big deaths and things, but not necessarily how they happened and came about and all the little twists, so I was very satisfying by the end of the series, but we're not counting the epilogue because that was trash. That is it for the spring cleaning book tag. I'm filming this in advance, so because next week for me is beyond crazy busy. I have some big news possibly coming, but I can't possibly divulge it yet. Don't worry, I'm not getting a book deal. It's nothing like that. But next week's going to be hectic, so I'm pre-filming this, so I don't know by the time this has gone up who will have and won't have done this tag, so I'm not going to tag anybody. Just if you have not done it and want to, do it and consider yourself tagged. I hope you're all happy, I hope you're all healthy, and hopefully I'll see you in my next video. Goodbye!